Today's show is brought to you by all the hot mics during podium training at US Classic. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. This is the show that we do every Friday at noon Pacific, or we do it immediately after something exciting happens at meets. Like today, US Classic is happening in Hartford, and so we watched senior women's podium training, and now we'll do a live Q&A with our Club Gym Nerd members. If you're a Club Gym Nerd member, switch to your feed. All the things you need to know are in the show notes and listen from there. If you're not, we'll give you a little teaser, and then the full episode is available for our Club Gym Nerd members who support us all year long and help us go to things like World Championships in Rotterdam later this year. So, you guys, it's July 17th. Spencer, start us.
So I don't know if you've heard, because it didn't make much news, but like, okay, so Suni's coming back. I know it's not the podium training that we're talking about right now, but we haven't had a chance to I haven't had a chance to talk about this with you to your face. So Suni announced what? That's a normal thing to say. That's a normal sentence. Suni announced that she's doing a documentary, and also it has a comeback in it. Suni Lee, Olympic champion, multiple time Olympic all-around medalist, intending to return, is going to have a documentary following the process of exploring a possible return to elite gymnastics.
And she said it's like excited. She's excited to show. She said she wanted people to know the minute she fell on beam, she was like, well, we're coming back here. And that Jess said, yeah, I know. Her coach was like, yeah, I knew you're gonna want to come back. And if you're a Club Gym Nerd member, I love the text message that I got when this was announced, when people were like, oh, I already knew she was coming back because I listened to the behind the scenes and I heard what you said about, oh, Suni posted a video of her in a very nice penthouse in Minneapolis. What could that be about? I don't know. She didn't say she's coming back, but all we're waiting for is Riley now. And then all the comebacks will be complete.
We're good. Then we're set.
Yeah, and DiCello.
I will say, this is the one after Paris. If we looked at the US team and you asked me who's the least likely to come back, I would have said Suni. Purely for health reasons. For kidney reasons. Your body has been through a lot. Like, take care of yourself. Live your life. Be fine. So this is, in some ways the most surprising to me of the people coming back, that she is like, I can still do this. And if she can healthily do it, please, by all means, give us your bars routine. Give us your bars routine in perpetuity.
Do you think it's demoralizing for some of the athletes to be like, well, fuck, I thought I had a chance, and then Suni came back?
Then upgrade. Wake, boo-hoo, upgrade. Be as good as Suni on bars.
I mean, that is
Don't cry. Vote or whatever. Don't boo, vote. Yeah, don't cry, upgrade.
So we do have a question that relates directly to Suni and other gymnasts who are very good on one event, and you would never, ever, ever want to leave off of a team, even if they maybe could only do, not obviously Suni's going to do all around. Please, you guys, already don't ever say
event specialist Suni Lee.
But like, imagine if she only had one leg. You would let her go for bars, obviously. Sure. So then you would change the rules. So we have a question about that we're going to get to later. But I'm so stoked about this. I love that she has already gotten herself a documentary set up. They've already been following her. That this is what we want in gymnastics. We want more of this. We want behind the scenes. We want the athletes to control their narrative. But we also want the full story. Like, don't be afraid to show us when something's going bad. Like, that's what humanizes you. So I hope she's not afraid to show the whole story and everything that's going on, because it's never roses and petals and violets and bloom.
Like, I would totally watch a documentary that's of like Suni trying to figure out whether she can do this, like health, like figuring out what the health, like what are the complications that she has to deal with that no one else has to deal with? What things does she have to change about her training that no one else has had to train because of her specific health needs? That in itself is an interesting documentary to me. Here's the only thing that even concerns me, but I always get annoyed when people do a Today Show interview and then it's not really a comeback. When it's like, and I'm like, the article in The Hollywood Reporter about them trying to sell this documentary the same day she announced it, I'm like, are you trying to sell? Are you, announcing a comeback, or as a production company trying to sell a documentary? That's the question I have about it. But then it immediately becomes like, oh, but Suni's bars. I forgot about those other concerns because it's Suni's bars. So,
Yeah. I'm very excited for Dr. Faustin, who's wasn't fired by USA Gymnastics. Her contract was not renewed, to feature prominently in this documentary. Since once again, in her ESPN speech last night or the night before, Suni mentioned Dr. Faustin. So that's what we like to see. I enjoyed very much. Yeah, I want everything about the kidneys. I want everything that led to the kidneys. I want a full kidney family, all the information, everything that happened. That's what I would like to see.
Respectfully.
Okay. Yeah, right. In a way that she gets to control the narrative. She gets to tell the story from her perspective.
And I wonder if that's part of the appeal of this, is feeling like it was like previous Olympic runs, it felt like the narrative was designed for Suni of what would seem the most marketable. Like, here's your story. This is what people want to see about you. And so hopefully this is an opportunity for her to, tell her own. And maybe that's some of the appeal.
Yeah. And it's fan, one of those betting sites, I think, that's behind it.
Oh, great.
But I think that's good because they have a shit ton of money. So
we have money.
That helps. All right, let's Fanatics. Thank you. And people are very for your comment that, this is not a participation. This is a competition. So if you want to win. Speaking of which, let's go to podium training notes, because this was the Ohashi last chance to make it to championship, which she said would be, nice, but she
sounded realistic about knowing, like, here's what my composition is and here's what the qualifying rules are.
Yes.
But yeah.
So she fixed her choreo, which is really good because it just wasn't up to like Ohashi standard. I think there had been too much like messing with, we got to put something in here. And then she had that roll around on the floor, NCAA I'm tired part. And I was like, that's not people, like, she's Ohashi. She can't do that. She's Katelyn Ohashi.
Yeah.
You have to find any other way to have a rest, but you can't roll around on the floor. So I like that the changes that they made. She's going for a 5-6D now. So I talked to her coach.
So floor, not beam.
5-6D on floor. Yes.
Okay.
So the composition would be 5-6. So, and this is so smart because it's still a 2-pass routine. So the things that she changed, so we know the first pass is still the same. It's the back 1.5 punch front full, or maybe
pass?
Rudy.
2-pass?
2-pass routine. Yeah.
I'm ready. 5-6 2-pass routine. You're speaking my language now.
Exactly. So she starts with the double Y turn and she's going to try to add an illusion.
Okay.
So that would be the 5-6. So she has her first pass we just talked about. So 1.5 to, it might be a double front full.
Okay.
That's the idea. So not just what we saw today, but upgraded. She has a triple wolf turn. And did you love that thing she added where she's like snappy jazz and then does a cartwheel half turn roll on her forearms like Jessie J. Accidentally I squeezed my butt and did a Yurchenko double full at Georgia.
Brandy J. Jessie, I thought you were talking about Jessie J.
That Brandy J used to do. She does one of those. It's a creative way to get into a wolf turn because she's Katelyn fucking Ohashi. She is.
Yeah. That's also pressure. Like, you have to live up to not being basic. You can't just like squat down into a wolf turn.
Exactly. So she's doing that into the wolf turn, the double wolf turn. Then she has the switch half, turgite half, and split full. Then her last pass, and she added that like round off layout step up because you have to have the 3 saltos. Is that right? Why do you have to add that? I always forget. There has to be a flip that's a something in there.
She has, she has back and front already going on.
Yeah, I feel like there's a rule that
she needs a pass. She needs a third pass.
Yeah. So I guess
so it has to count as a third, like a third run. Yeah.
Yeah. So then she is. And then the last pass, the plan was, she didn't show it today, but which is smart. She's doing the Leanne Wong never tumble on the hard floor until you have to plan, which either she'll do a double layout or she'll try for a whip double pike, or if she might just do the round off double pike and, or back handspring double pike. So that would be a 5-6. And then my favorite thing she added is the drop split double ponytail whip. This is the Katelyn Ohashi that everyone wants. Like,
you know, a child of the 80s when you hear them love a double ponytail whip.
Excuse me, what about I whip my hair back and forth? Child,
I know it's timeless.
Slapper guy, yeah, that actor.
So, but what we were saying about needing a third pass is the dismount bonus that you get on bars and beam, you also get it on floor for a D or higher element in your last pass, but you have to have 3 passes in order to be eligible to have a dismount bonus. Because if you have 2 passes, you don't have a dismount, you just have 2 passes.
Yeah.
Count.
So that would be why she's doing that. Beam, we saw her switch her mount, which I think is smart because she does the stoop through mount now. No switch.
So that's a downgrade because she was doing the switch leap mount.
Yep. Side flip, first routine, she had some problems, but then the second routine, she hit everything. I was like, should she take out that little? So now that she changed her mount, she fulfills the perineum rule, which you don't like it called that. So I'm going to call it the
I don't like it called that because I'm sane.
The pelvic sacral ilia rule. It's the touch your leotard.
Actually, just like your torso has to touch the beam.
It's not, but it could be your head,
but you have to do something.
Yes.
The artistry checklist says torso.
Okay. So.
But you have to actually do something.
But a head spin would also fulfill it. Just saying, if anyone wants to do it.
No, I don't, because what are you advocating for people to take out the most interesting parts of their routines now?
Well, this is okay. So I'm always thinking like, okay, well, it's a competition, Spencer. It's about the actual scores. And so then I'm like, okay, well, what is best for you to score what you want? Do the absolute minimum 20-second Simone Biles beam routine. But then I'm like, okay, but that's the most interesting part. And that's the thing that all the kids are going to go home and try. And it's like Katelyn Ohashi. So you have to have something fun and creative and just like for you in the routine. And also it's like, she's not going to get any deductions on that unless it's like rhythm or something. But I'm just saying for a second, it crossed my mind.
Okay. Well, it should have. Let it cross and let it drive on by.
Okay. Interesting that happens on the way. Things that happened to her on the way here.
Anthony says, can it just be called the levels rule? But that wouldn't be gross. So how could you possibly include that?
If you didn't have hands or feet rule. Or arm. No, because you could do anyway. Okay, she lost her luggage on the way. Yeah. Her luggage didn't make it. No, I'm sure we'll get one after the meet. I was really impressed that she's doing all the old elite warm-ups. Like she is showing by doing like, going to bars and doing the cast handstands and like, okay, now I have to press handstand a million times. But like she is showing with that she can do all the things that they may ask of her should she be on a team. Like I can handstand. No, like I can do your full conditioning before I compete. I can keep up with the elites at this age. I mean, nothing was hard for her. So that's what I think. I mean, she also just like fell off on a cast handstand and then she got back up. Unlike Simone, who was just like, this is stupid. I'm not doing these anymore. And then left.
The best story.
It's my favorite thing that's ever happened at camp. It's so great. But you better be Simone Biles if you're doing that. So yeah, it also shows that she's not trying to conserve energy. She's doing everything that would be expected of her. She's willing to do it all. Like it's a good move on her part. I think if her goal is, I want to make a team, maybe eventually, like she says she's inspired by it, would be really fun if she made it to LA. And also AARP is a sponsor now of USA Gymnastics. So thanks, Katelyn Ohashi, everybody.
You're always the one who's like, these children are calling themselves grandmas, even though they're so young.
I know. Well, she called herself a senior citizen. She said it. I mean, it's so not true. And I loved Skye's interview with Scott Brigman of the Olympic Channel earlier, where she talked about how she's, trying to graduate early so she can just focus on, I was about to say going back to Woga, but I mean, focus on the Olympics. But also, she talked about how she realized she doesn't have to put a limit. Like when she was younger, she thought there was a limit. And I think a lot of gymnasts feel like that. Like when they're in the gym, if there aren't a lot of people older, then you don't feel like it. But then when you go to international competitions and you're like, wait, she's 30, she's 25, she's had 2 kids, like everyone,
So speaking of Skye Blakely.
Yes.
Upgrade alert. We didn't see a lot of upgrades, but we saw some upgrades, and we saw Skye. We have a Skye Blakely upgrade alert on beam because she did a punch front pike. Threw that in there. That was fun.
We love a punch front pike. I'm very excited about that.
I feel like we don't see them a lot because it's usually not worth it to add a 10th. Well, it was Amy Borman who told the story when she was working with in some country working with, their program post coaching Simone. And she was like, this one gymnast kept trying to upgrade to a front pike from a punch front tuck to a front pike for 1/10. And I was like, or you could just add releve. Don't upgrade to a front pike because that's 1/10 you're not getting. You're not doing any releve. You just do releve instead of that front pike. And so I feel like we don't see a lot of front pikes because it's just the 1/10 from the punch front. And people feel like either because of form or wobbles, it's not going to end up being worth it. So, they're pretty rare at this point. I like seeing them.
Yeah. Skye said she's not going to do all around this weekend, but she is working all 4 events. So it's not that
That's what we saw in podium training, that we saw 2 definite routines on bars and beam. And then I will touch the other apparatuses just to show that I'm here.
She's going to do Lopez's. And she said she's vaulting just but we'll, you never know. We'll see. But we saw her touch the vault and floor apparatuses. She did a timer on vault. She did a dance through on floor. So she was, giving herself a moment with them. But she did real, full routines. I'm going to win this event on bars and beam. Like she was doing last year. Okay. So she said Lopez was her favorite vault. She probably wasn't going to do Chung this year. So, but wisely, this is the thing. You don't want to vault on hard 2 days in a row. So... And they've already been here training for another day. So everybody that didn't, you can tell who's I'm in charge of myself and I will not be doing,
I will do one timer and then I will leave vault.
Goodbye. And then I will exit the area because you don't have a pit here. On beam, we saw the full.
Yeah, her initial run through, she did her initial routine. She just did a back tuck and then she went back and was like, no, don't worry. I'm still doing the back tuck with the full.
Yeah.
So I think the front pike is replacing just a side aerial. So that's an upgrade of a 10th.
Leanne Wong.
I want to talk about this beam routine for 4 hours. So we saw her do beam and a second to floor today. She said, you guys, I heard you about my beam composition and I'm trying. Because the thing last year with Leanne Wong's beam was that at nationals last year, she was doing 10 skills of a C value or higher. And you can only count your top 8 most difficult elements. So there were superfluous skills that were just in there to fulfill requirements or get connection value that she wasn't actually counting. And so the goal would be efficiency, fewer skills so that things are both counting for difficulty and fulfilling requirements and being connection bonus so you can get off that beam quicker and get fewer deductions. If she gets the beam routine that she was attempting today, it is so much more efficient than the routine that she was doing last year. So we saw her try to do what Simone was mounting with in 2024, which is a switch split mount and then immediately connected to a switch half for bonus and a dance combination. And then if she wobbled on the mount, she would throw in switch leap, switch half to get the requirement, but that was plan B. We saw Leanne working with that as well. She was a lot of tries of a side aerial into a layout step out as her acro series instead of doing a side aerial and then a back handspring layout step out. Otherwise, she kept not being able to get it. It was a real struggle. She did side aerial to step back, side aerial to hop off many, many times. But then the triumph with exactly 1 second left in the rotation period, she finally did do aerial to layout step out and connected it. So if she gets it, I wouldn't be surprised to see her just do back handspring layout step out in competition because she was really having trouble with trying the side aerial connection. But if she gets it, which is an ideal, she is making that routine a lot more efficient and increasing the D score with fewer elements. So I was really excited about the possibilities we saw from Leanne's beam.
I think you're right, but I also watching her warm up for a long time now. This is not unusual for her. She will not do it unless it's perfect. It's kind of like watching Kalina warm up on bars. She's like, I'm not gonna try to catch the bar until everything's perfect.
And you mean Katelyn Amore, not Kalialinka.
Yeah, sorry. Katelyn Amore.
Just because we have two people with similar names.
Olympic champion
who both are in your heart, who both are on the top of the podium in your heart. So I need to clarify.
Thank you. Yes, world and Olympic champion of bars. Like you would think, oh my God, it's a mess. But then when everything's right, then she just goes for it. So I guess I wasn't worried. I mean, she'll do what she needs to do, but I wasn't worried. Right. Oh yeah. Question from absolutely not.
Question about releve on the artistry checklist. Does that mean that one must be on highest toe at all times, or just when intending to be in releve?
Just when intending to be at releve. So you can just stand flat on the beam, but if you're doing a turn or you're doing a transition, you should be on your highest toe and not be like, I'm doing a little half turn, but I'm just hovering my heel above the beam. Mm-hmm. So the beam hairs I can feel them on the bottom of my foot. You don't want that.
And they make sure everyone knows that you can flex your foot in as an intentional artistic movement.
Choice.
You don't have to have pointed toes at every second, but you need to be intentional in your movements.
Yeah.
You can just have your foot on display as part of your choreography to show that you have an ankle and it moves around. That's perfectly allowed.
Mm-hmm. Double linders.
For combination/series credit, does it matter what order the skills are done in, or can they be done however they want? In general, it's however they want. There are some specific combinations that define the order things have to happen in. One of those is the front handspring front tuck that people will do on beam as their acro series, like Skye Blakely does, which is 2/10 of bonus, but it has to be a B element to a D element. You cannot do a D element and then a B element to get that same. So you couldn't do like front aerial, back handspring and get 2/10 of bonus. They were like, no. It has to be rebounding B into D to get that bonus.
That I want to finish about talking about Leanne Wong and all of her choices, and everybody else. We're going to talk about Jade and Dulcie and opportunities for comedy, and Risa Sponda and Izzy Stasi being coached by KJ here, and Zoe Malomo, Be Still My Heart. But that brings me, speaking of, what we are talking about with connection bonus, that leads me to my behind the scenes story. Because if you guys noticed, I'm not in Hartford. I am actually, at home. So I want to tell you about that. But also, I want to tell you about, I had to text some coaches really quick and be like, hey, I think I saw this. And basically, I thought I saw someone do what would amount to a 4/10 series bonus and connection value bonus. And I was like, oh my God, you didn't tell us. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I don't think anyone's done this since the 80s. Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. What the response was to that text. Okay. I was very excited. But before we move on to tell you about that, we have a fantasy game that is ready for you guys. It's in the show notes. Locks 15 minutes before the meet starts tomorrow on Saturday. We launched 3 new tools. We have an elite calendar. You can add the meets to your calendar. We have the Elite Score Explorer, which is basically a leaderboard. So you want to see who the best in the world is on whatever event, and you want to be like, I don't want to see any domestic scoring. You can use this to put together your fantasy. And then if it is a domestic meet, use only domestic scoring. And then we have the LA Roster Lab where you can pick your, Olympic teams. And there's a cheat button where you can just be like, who's the highest scoring team right now? We also have the refer a friend bonus right now where you can have a friend sign up, email customer service, gymcastic.com, put referral in the subject line. Let us know your friend's email and we'll give you both a free month. The store is open so you guys can get all your merch for championships weekend. There's a sale now through this weekend, just in time for Classic when you're inspired. And Blue Sky now has private groups. Something that Twitter people have said was preventing them from switching, but now you have it. So we're going to move on to our conversation with our Club Gym Nerd members now to thank them for their support all year long. And, they get one of these every week where they can ask us questions live, and we also answer their letters. So I thought I saw doing a prep for a switch leap on front handspring front. So that's why when I imagine things, this is journalism. Did I imagine this? No, let me fact check this. Oh, if you're not a Club Gym Nerd member, you want to listen to the rest of this episode, go to gymcastic.com and join the club. Happy handstands, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for listening.